See, I've been away from y'all a few days in the mornings. Been busy doing some other things where I'm working so late at night. I don't get to bed till like 2 o'clock in the morning because we're trying to do some big things with real estate here in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's one of the things that we don't have a lot of today is time. Okay, I always tell you guys, time is more valuable than the money. Right? Most people are working jobs and that they hate, or they're doing it, but they're doing it for their family, and it's a sacrifice for them. Hey, how's it going, Hazard? How you doing, sir? And they really don't want to do it. So they do it, but they don't realize how much time they're giving up to do it, because you can make money over and over again. That money can be gone tomorrow, but time you don't get back. If you lose all your money, you can always go back and restart again. How you doing, man? It's been a minute since I've seen you here. How you been doing? Okay. All right. Good to see you. Thanks for being on. Okay. So we want to conserve our time. All right. That's not the topic of discussion today, but I just want to let you guys know I didn't have much time lately to be on here. So I'll have to kind of get back on schedule again and see if I can start going to bed a little bit earlier now that I got certain things taken care of with my business, with this business deal I'm doing. Get to bed earlier so I can get up earlier and be here with you guys. You guys don't know this, but I go live on here and on Facebook and on TikTok, sometimes twice a day on all three platforms. But I want you to know how special you are, and I want you to know that your support is very important to me. Okay. All right. Let me just, Hazard has something he's saying here. And before I get into this topic, I'm currently 15 years old and I can make, how, currently I am 15 years old. How can I make money? Good question. All right. So I'm going to be talking about something today, Hazard, that would probably help you. Okay. It's called real estate wholesaling. Now, if you look at you guys look at my channel, you know exactly what I do. On this channel, I have a little small video on my main page that talks about the kind of things I teach here. All right. So I'm a real estate investor and I'm a real estate coach and mentor. I've been doing this since 2009, 2010, about 16 years now. And I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it a long time, and I've had a lot of ups and downs, had a lot of failures. Okay. So I can help you and mentor you and show you how to stay away from the pitfalls. No matter what country you're in, I can teach you wholesaling. The laws are slightly different in other nations, other countries, but here in the U.S., I pretty much know how it works, pretty much in all the different states. But if you want to learn wholesaling globally, that's good. Hazard asked me, "Were you born rich or poor?" So that's a good question. I was born in Rochester, New York. My mom and dad were. My dad was at the time he was working at Kodak. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. We lived in a little tiny place, in Rochester. It was always cold. So I would say we were poor. And at some point, when my dad started making good money, I would say we were middle class. We were pretty much born poor. And then when I grew up, when I got to be 7 years old, I moved to Florida with my parents and lived with my grandfather. So obviously, we took a step back. We had to go and start over again in Florida. So we were pretty much poor. And then my dad started working construction, and we got a little trailer. You guys know anything about trailers in the South? These little trailers, these little mini houses. And we lived on my grandfather's land for quite some time. Now you're very rich. Well, I'm on my path to being a millionaire. I made a ton of money in 2020, and I made some money in 2021 and in 2022. And then we had a downturn here in the US. So I would say over the last 5 years, I've probably made close to $1 million. All right, but that's spread out over 5 years. In 2020, about a half a million. Then in 2021, I made like 200,000, and then 2022, about 180,000, because we had a downtime in the market. And my wife and I went through a time where we lost a lot. Okay, we lost a lot in that time frame post COVID. So rich, I wouldn't use that word rich. I would say we were better off than most here in the U.S. because we were self-employed. So I wouldn't even call us middle class, because we do think like the rich. We think like we do believe that if we keep on this path, we'll be very, very wealthy. But wealth is something that happens over time, and wealth is a better word than the word rich. Rich means that you can make a couple $1 million, like an NBA player or a movie star or something. But tomorrow that money can be gone. A wealthy person has generational wealth where they can pass down to their children, their children's children. So I would say we're on our path to being wealthy. Good question. How many kids do I have? I have 0 children. And here's why. I was married before, and my first wife, I was with her for 12 years. She had children already, and she was unable to have kids when she met me. So I was with her for 12 years, and I raised her kids, and they call me dad. So when we were divorced, and I met her, my new wife, the woman I'm with today for 15 years, we decided not to have any kids right now. We wanted to build our businesses. All right. So let me get into this topic really quick, Hazard. So I'm going to show you how you can make money where you are. I don't know the rules of how it works in your country with real estate, but in the U.S., I believe you have to be 18 years old to really do real estate deals. Okay, to do the kind of deals I'm going to be talking about. But if you're not 18 years old, you can talk to your parents. Have I divorced? Yes, I was telling you earlier, I divorced many years ago and remarried again. Yes, I've been with the current wife. Oh, you're from India. Okay. I've been with the current wife for 15 years. My first wife, I was with her 12 years. That's a long time ago. I'm almost 50 years old, by the way. I'll be 50 in May. All right. So let me stay on topic. So real estate wholesaling is the topic of discussion today. What is wholesaling? Wholesaling means different things depending on what you're selling. But if you are my age, I'm 49 years old, 49. So wholesaling means different things. If you're wholesaling computers, if you're wholesaling, microphones like this, wholesaling simply means you get a product or service at a lower price, like a wholesale price, which is the price that it costs the middleman to get that product. That would be, you get it at a lower price, and then you turn around and you sell it on the market for a higher price and make a profit in the middle. That's what wholesaling is. Get a product or get a product. You get it at a cheaper price than what you put it on the market and sell it for. So, for instance, this right here, this is a Yeti mic. This product is like $150, right, on Amazon. But the person who's selling it probably got it for like 40 or $50, maybe $30 at wholesale. But he probably had to buy 100 of them. So you see what I'm saying? So if he bought 100 of these at $30, that's $3,000. So he probably had to pay $3,000 to get 100 of these, so he can start selling them at like $150 a piece. That's how he makes his profit. Well, real estate. Let's bring it to real estate. Real estate wholesaling is similar. You have to go out and you have to find a property at a wholesale price, whether it's a fixer-upper, which when you watch these shows on television, where you hear this fixing these reality shows where they have fix and flip guys that come on there and say, hey, I'm going to go in this neighborhood over here in Detroit or Chicago or Atlanta or one of the rural areas in Texas. We're going to go in that area and we're going to buy a property at dirt cheap, and it needs like $50,000 worth of work. So they'll go out and they'll find a property that needs a new roof, which is like $15,000 to get the new roof. May need a total, kitchen renovation in the kitchen, which is another $25,000, and may need some other cosmetics. So they pick up the property for like $150,000. They go and they put $50,000 into it, which they put. So basically, they bought it for $150,000. They put $50,000 into it, but the after repair value, which means we call it the ARV in real estate, they look at the property and they can determine based on the comps that once they fix the property up, it's going to be worth $350,000. So they'll buy it for $150,000, put $50,000 into it. They get a loan from the lender to get to buy the property and fix it up. So they're out of pocket $200,000. But when they do that, now they can turn around and give it to a realtor and tell the realtor, hey, listen, please put this on the market and sell it for $350,000. That's wholesaling. Pardon me, that's not wholesaling. I said that wrong. That's fix and flip. But as you can see, I got the property at a wholesale price. That's one level of wholesaling. Get it at what, you know what I mean? So I got it at a wholesale price. I fixed it up, put it on the market, made a profit. That's one level of wholesaling. All right. But that level of wholesaling, that's more fix and flip, and it's buy and hold, fix up and resell again. That's harder because you got to go out, you got to get a loan to get that property. The best method of wholesaling, you see, okay, you got that. But the best method of wholesaling is when you don't have to pay any money out of pocket, pretty much, and you can bring a buyer and the seller together for a property. All right, so let me explain how that works. If you want to do this and you don't have any money at all, then you can't do buy and hold because you got to go and pay all these fees to close the loan and all that stuff and fix it up and put it on the market and wait. So you're going to pay some money out of pocket, even though you have a lender. Lender still wants some money out of pocket. When you do the second level of wholesaling, you go out, you find a property, you talk to the owner, okay? The owner has a certain price that they want for their property, okay? Somebody has a message for me, but it's being held. So you basically, now you have to take that property and present it to someone else for them to buy it. You don't want to put any money out of pocket, so you want to put the property under contract. The seller has to agree to say, okay, Jimmy, I want you to sell I don't care what you sell my property for. I want $230,000 at closing for my property. I sign a contract. It's called, now the contract that I sign is very important. It's called an assignable contract with the seller. I have to talk to the seller. I have to get on the phone, negotiate, and say, listen, please allow me to sell your property. Give me 30 days. I'm going to buy it, but I'm going to sell it to someone else. So I need an assignable contract, which gives me the permission at closing to take it and assign it to an end buyer. This is wholesaling 101, all right? So they agree to that. They signed a contract with me for me to make sure that they get 230 grand at closing. I then take that contract. I can go and find someone over here to buy it simultaneously, because I didn't buy it. I just put it under contract, right? No money out of my pocket. Now, they may ask me for an earnest money deposit. They may ask me to give them something to hold it. So I may have to give them $100, sometimes $1,000, whatever it is, just to hold it, to let them know that I'm serious about this contract over here. I go over to the other guy. You can find a wholesaler, or you can find a buyer, an agent, or a client, anyone who will buy it. You make your profit in the middle. So you don't sell it to the end buyer for $230 because this person wants $230. Nobody's going to make money but this person over here. So you go to the end buyer and say, listen, I want to sell this to you for $245. You saw that? I got it under contract for $230. I'm giving to the end buyer for $245. So me as the wholesaler in the middle, I'm gonna make 15 grand, because again, this man or woman over here who owns it is happy because they're gonna get their. You understand? Good. This person over here is happy because they're gonna get their money. Listen, they get that 230. They can care less about what happens over here. They don't care, as long as when they go to closing, the closing attorney sitting there, and the title company, they signing the papers. They get that check for 230. They're good. They may owe 80,000 on the property, right? So if they owe 80,000, they're gonna walk away with like 150 after they pay off everything. So they're good. They got $150,000 cash after everything's paid. So you give us good. Thank you, sir. My pleasure. This guy over here is gonna go at the end, and he'll say, you know what? Yeah, thank you for the property. Now he's gonna see that this property was sold for 230. He's gonna see that you get a check for 15,000, but there's nothing he can do about it because you're the wholesaler. So if you do that, that's the best way to wholesale, what I just told you, all right? When I come back tomorrow, I will talk a little bit about double closings. Double closings are actually better if you're trying to make, let's say, $30,000 or $40,000 on a wholesale deal. Because when you start making more than 15 grand at closing, sometimes the buyer and seller, they look at what you're making, they go, I don't want a wholesaler making 25 grand on the deal. But if you do a double closing, I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow, you can hide how much money you make. They won't be able to see it. Okay, thank you, Hazard, for staying on. I didn't get any likes today. Nobody give me any likes today. So, Hazard, please give me a thumbs up, okay? The algorithm helps me when you do that. All right? Give me a thumbs up. Please like the video if you can, all right? And I have to go. I appreciate you guys hanging on. So Hazard, everything I just told you, you can start. I'm not sure. So you're in India. I'm pretty sure there's wholesaling in India as well. Make sure you find out what the laws are. And what you want to do is, if you're home, thank you, sir. If you're home, you may have to go to your parents and say, listen, I'm thinking about wholesaling. I want to learn how to get properties and sell them to the end buyer and get the contracts and all that. Find out what the laws are in your city, in your state, with the assignable contract. Make sure it's legal to do it there. And you need to start looking and tell your parents when you get to the closing table, they may have to help you with it because you're not of age. You may have to be 18 years of age to get paid. I don't know how old you got to be to get paid like that as an adult. All right. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. I'm going to go over some other things tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Your parents force you to study, but I'm not interested. I understand. We'll talk some more tomorrow. Okay. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.